Hello and welcome to another tutorial video on Dead Throne. In this episode we're going to be talking about scrolls. Now of course scrolls are a fundamental part of Dead Throne, the gameplay and your strategy. They're very important, they'll get you out of sticky situations and they will help you defeat pretty much anything that can come your way if you use them correctly. Typically, depending on the scenario that you're playing, you'll start with 3 scrolls. You draw them randomly out of one of the 3 decks and you can move the decks around the table. You'll filter through them throughout the game, so it doesn't really matter where they are. In the beginning of the game, before anybody has played, before the official start of the game has happened, you have a chance to get rid of any scrolls that you don't like. This is because at the beginning of your turn, you replace scrolls that you've used in previous turns or that you've discarded because you don't want them. So in the beginning of the turn, you can say, for example, I don't like this scroll, so I'm going to put it aside. How you do it is up to you. I tend to put them on top of the closest deck or the one that I'm going to draw from. That way I remember how many scroll cards I've discarded. Now in the beginning of my next turn, I put it back and I draw a new one from the bottom and add it to my hand. You can have a maximum of 8 scroll cards in your hand. It's pretty much like having a slot for the scroll card because, as I said, when you've used them, they get replaced and you draw a new one for that slot. So if you have 8 slots in your hand, they need to be filled or to be filled on your next turn. Because scrolls don't have a buy or sell price as well as other items, you can use the market reference card. And on there, it will say scroll cards have a buy price of 20 and a sell price of 15 coin. So if I wanted to, I could sell one of those 8 slots going down to 7 slots, so I can't go more than that unless I obtain a new slot or a new scroll card. I can go to the market, I can simply sell this card, put it in the deck and get 15 coin from the market. But you usually don't want to do that unless you're desperate because scroll cards are really important. But of course, if you have 20 coin, you can buy another scroll and that adds to your hand. So let's just say I bought another scroll. I started with 3, now I have 4. So that's 4 scroll cards that I can filter through. Another way of getting scroll cards is throughout the land. Some quests will give you a scroll card. You can find them. Some creatures might give you a scroll card. On your travels, you will continuously try to obtain as many scroll cards as possible up to the maximum of 8 because the more you have, the more dangerous you can be, the more options are available to you. Using scroll cards is pretty simple. The scroll card itself will tell you what it can do, how long it can be used for, what category it is, and if it can be used during a solo or co-op scenario. If you're playing solo or co-op, if the card doesn't have the relevant symbol, then it can't be used. You simply put that aside and draw a new one until you draw a card that does have that symbol on it. If you're playing competitive though, it doesn't matter because all the scroll cards can be used during competitive. So, in this setup, I'm going to explain how scroll cards can be used. Faluin and I are currently in a battle. It is my turn and I want to use a scroll card. It says, enchant any shield. That shield cannot be stolen or taken by any means, even from enemies around the land. It's an enchantment scroll and it also says attached. Now this is a pretty good scroll. We're currently in a battle. If he beats me, he can take my shield and I don't want that to happen. It's an attached scroll. It says so in the top left corner, which means I can attach it to the shield scroll, or show the shield card, and it stays there. Another reason for me wanting to do that was because it's an attached scroll. Attached scrolls mean that you can draw a new card immediately. Otherwise, I have to discard it and wait for my next turn. The next scroll card that I got is a wolf pelt, conjure scroll card. Now I don't have a wolf pelt, so it means nothing to me. I'm simply going to discard it and put it aside. It is still my turn, so I can do that. The next one I have is kill all summoned creatures on the battlefield, including your own. This is pretty good. Faluin has 2 creatures, so I'm going to activate this scroll card and all of his creatures are now defeated. They're gone away from the battle. I have no creatures, so it doesn't affect me. This scroll card though says that it can be used once. That simply means I've used its effect, now it's done, I put it in the discard pile. Anything that's been discarded, I will replace on my next turn. The attached scroll, if that gets discarded, because it's attached and it's been used, it's already been replaced, it will just go back to the deck, doesn't get replaced again. The next scroll I want to use is a summon the creature of whose essence you carry. This lasts for 1 battle. Now the essence I carry is a boar tusk. I got this as a reward for defeating a boar a while ago. If you get a reward like this, it's like an item, you put it in your inventory and wait until you want to use it or sell it. Simple. Scroll, creature, put them in front of you, and now you've got a summoned creature on your side. I'll touch more on that on a later video, but it says for 1 battle, so for the entire battle, that creature will be there and the scroll card will also be currently in effect. So I can't replace it unless I want to discard it or until the battle is over. The next scroll I want to use is do 4 attack of direct damage to your enemy or opponent. So I'm going to do 4 attack of direct damage to Faluin. It says once again, so it's been used, it gets put aside. Now, all scroll cards have to be used during your turn. That's either inside a battle or outside of a battle. The only exception to this rule are defense scroll cards, shield and spell scroll cards. So, let's say I finished my attack, it's now Faluin's turn. Faluin wants to attack me. So during his attack, at the exact moment of his attack, I can activate this scroll card because it's a defense category scroll card. It says take no damage for the remainder of this battle round. So boom, I activate it in front of his attack. I take no damage and I will not take any more damage for the remainder of this round. The round is, I activated it on his turn because it was during his attack. So the timer will start at the end of the turn of the player it was activated on. So at the end of Faluin's turn, the timer starts. It's now my turn. Goes back round to his turn. At the end of his turn, it's now been discarded. That's when that can be discarded. Now, anything that has been discarded at the beginning of your next battle turn or any turn, game turn, you replace the cards that you discarded. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 scroll cards here that I want to replace. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You replace them with an equal amount of new ones. So now I've replenished my hand and I can continue as normal.